Right now, you can eat almost anything you want, whenever you want. But for most of human history, what ended up on your plate depended on one thing: the era you were born in. A Stone Age hunter, an Egyptian pyramid worker, and a medieval peasant wouldn't even recognize each other's food. So let's travel through time and see exactly what humans ate in every age of history. And trust me, some of it is going to surprise you. Let's start at the very beginning, the Stone Age. For over 2 million years, humans were hunter-gatherers. No farms, no shops, no kitchens. If you wanted to eat, you either hunted it or you found it. The menu? Wild animals, fish, eggs, fruits, nuts, seeds, roots, and if they were lucky, honey. And here's something that might shock you. These people actually ate a huge variety of food. A single group could eat over 100 different plants across a year. Way more variety than most of us get today. But the real turning point was fire. Once humans learned to cook, meat became easier to chew and digest, and their bodies could pull far more energy out of every bite. Many scientists believe cooked food is one of the biggest reasons the human brain grew so large. In a way, we became smart because we started cooking. Now let's make things colder. During the Ice Age, huge parts of the world were frozen, and plants disappeared for months at a time. So the diet shifted hard toward meat. Humans hunted giant animals, woolly mammoths, reindeer, bison, wild horses. But it wasn't just about the meat. It was about the fat. In freezing cold, your body burns huge amounts of energy just to stay warm, and lean meat alone isn't enough. In fact, if you eat only lean meat with no fat, you can actually starve, even with a full stomach. It's a real condition. So Ice Age hunters valued the fattiest parts of an animal above everything else. To them, fat wasn't unhealthy. Fat was survival. Then, around 12,000 years ago, everything changed. Humans discovered they could plant a seed and grow their own food. This was the birth of farming, the Neolithic era. Suddenly, the diet revolved around grains, wheat, barley, and legumes like lentils and peas. People began baking bread, brewing the first beers, and keeping animals for milk. But here's a myth I need to bust. A lot of people think bread was invented after farming. It wasn't. The oldest bread ever discovered is over 14,000 years old, baked by hunter-gatherers before farming even existed. They were making flatbread from wild grains before anyone planted a single field. And here's the twist: those early farmers were actually shorter, weaker, and had worse teeth than the hunters before them. More food didn't always mean better food. Next stop, the Bronze Age. By now, farming was everywhere, and food became more organized. People ate bread, porridge, olives, cheese, and honey, and drank wine and beer. And in ancient Egypt, food became so valuable it was basically money. The workers who built the pyramids were paid in bread and beer, a daily ration. Imagine getting your paycheck in loaves and pints. And their beer wasn't like ours. It was thick, filling, and packed with calories, almost like drinking liquid bread. Then came the Iron Age. Stronger tools meant better farming, but the everyday diet stayed simple: grain porridges, bread, beans, vegetables, a little dairy, and meat only now and then. And here's one of the creepiest ways we actually know this. In the peat bogs of northern Europe, scientists have found human bodies thousands of years old, almost perfectly preserved. And inside their stomachs? Their final meal, a porridge made of grains and seeds. We literally know what Iron Age people ate for their last dinner. Now we reach the classical world, ancient Greece and Rome. Their diet was built on three things you might recognize: bread, olive oil, and wine. Historians call it the Mediterranean triad. Add some fish, vegetables, cheese, and legumes, and that was daily life for most people. Meat was actually a luxury, usually saved for festivals or religious sacrifices. And here's the wild part. That same trio, bread, olive oil, and wine, is still the heart of the Mediterranean diet today, thousands of years later. Some meals just never go out of style. Fast forward to the Middle Ages. For most people, the peasants, the star of every meal was pottage. It's a thick stew of grains and vegetables cooked in a single pot over the fire. And often, that pot never fully emptied. They'd just keep adding to it, day after day, so the same stew could simmer for days at a time. Add some dark, heavy bread and a mug of weak ale, and that was breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The rich, on the other hand, feasted on roasted meats and showed off expensive spices, the ultimate symbol of wealth and status. And finally, we arrive at today. In just a few thousand years, we went from foraging all day for a handful of berries to walking into a supermarket with over 30,000 different products on the shelves. Food now travels across the entire planet to reach you. You can eat strawberries in the middle of winter, spices from the other side of the world, and dishes from any culture, all in a single day. Our ancestors would look at us and think we were kings. So think about it. From raw meat cooked over a fire, to the first farmed grain, to a pot that never stops simmering, to a shelf that never runs out. For almost all of history, humans ate just to survive. We might be the very first humans who get to eat purely for pleasure. So tell me down in the comments, which era's diet would you actually want to try for a week? Stone Age meat, Egyptian bread and beer, or a medieval pot of pottage? I'm genuinely curious. And if you learned something new today, subscribe for more journeys through history. I'll see you in the next one.